Zoe, every time I go visit my Uncle Bob in Bangkok, he cooks this dish. The Thai beef curry, red curry. It's an amazing dish and it simmers away, the meat becomes nice and tender. But I should get to cook it, shouldn't I?
This is one of my favourites out of all the Thai curries. I think it's beautiful.
You look at all the ingredients here and you know it's going to be a winner. And when I pull out a piece of meat like this or diced rump, which I've got here, you know it's going to be a crack of a dish. Now, what I'm going to do to start with, I always put salt on my meat. I'll sprinkle some of that on there. But what I'm going to do is brown it off. And I find browning it off is probably one of the most important things. I've got my 2 pans here because we're going to get the sauce going in one and brown the meat off in the other. So if you can pass me some olive oil, I'll get this sizzling away. But in the meantime, Zoe, what I'm going to get you to do, Thai food, it has pungent herbs in there. Gorgeous. I've got some Thai basil here, which you can tell it's got the purple stalks.
I think it's most incredible. It almost has, I mean, it has like a sort of aniseedy type smell to it.
Licorice sort of flavour. Yeah, it's amazing.
Incredible.
Well, that's why I've got you to do it, because your hands will have this beautiful smell on them. It'd be fantastic. Now, I've got my pan here red hot, and what I'm going to do is brown this meat off in a hot pan. You know, I've recommended people go outside to their barbecue if they're scared of having all the smoke and the fumes in the kitchen.
And you get that sort of smokiness. That'd be really like another element.
Yep, fire up the barbie, throw it on there. Now, on it goes. We'll let that sear away till it's nice and sort of golden. Now, we'll get rocking with the next part of it. Yep. I've got some Kaffir lime leaves. These are fantastic. You can buy these fresh. You can actually freeze them if you want. Yep. They're always better when they're fresh. And you can just smell that lime flavour's fantastic. That's what tells you it's Thai food.
And this has one of the ugliest limes I've ever seen on the tree. It's got pimples all around it.
Don't be so mean, Zoe. They're not that bad. They're not that ugly. There we go. Speaking as an ugly duckling myself, you know, I like to. I've got to stand up for all us ugly ducklings. There we go. Now with the chilies, I'm just going to slice it in half. Now Thai food, a lot of the time is quite hot, so you want to we'll keep up with that tradition and we'll keep it nice and hot. I'll keep the seeds in here and cut it quite coarse, so we've got something to chop on.
That's going to be a nice fire in our tummy, isn't it?
I like it. I like it nice and hot. Now, if you want, you could always, lighten it up a bit and not put the seeds in and not put chilli in, but it's up to you. Now, lemongrass, a little tip, we've done this before. I use the back of the knife here, or I use a wooden spoon or even a rolling pin. And what you want to do is bash the outside of the lemongrass so it sort of bruises it, so all the flavour comes out of it. Look, you've ripped through that already, haven't you? Woo. All right, Zoe, I'm going to get you to smash this garlic and chop it up. And I've got the ginger here. I'm just going to slice this nice and thin. And then what I'll do is I'll just chop it up into little pieces. Now,
that's nice. I like to get that big chunk of ginger in there.
I've got my pan here nice and hot as well. You can see my beef. I'll show you what I mean about browning it off. Just give it a bit of a stir like that. You can see it's nice and brown. It's like roast beef on the outside or steak. You know it's going to be tasty. So my other pan's here and a nice big splush of olive oil. I'm using good oil.
No moderation here. No,
none at all. I'm using good oil, so I might as well use plenty of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it helps the sauce out. Now, into the pan this goes, and this is where you start smelling the Thai flavours coming together. Kaffir lime leaf in there, and I just sweat it all off. Now, this is rump steak that I'm using. Yep. So I know it takes about half an hour to 40 minutes to cook. So this will all sort of simmer down and all the flavour will come out of it.
Lovely.
If I was using something like brisket or a tougher piece of meat, I know it'll take, 4 or 5 hours or maybe 2 hours, whatever it takes to cook. And you'll know when it's cooked because it's tender. It
falls apart.
Exactly.
I mean, red curry is that classic kind of curry you see on all of the menus. So I love what you're doing at making it a bit sort of more rustic. I really like this.
And you usually make it with redder cuts of meat, like duck and beef and lamb, those sorts of things. In goes some star anise, and I just love the look of them. A little bit of salt in there as well. And, of course, I've got some curry paste here that I like to use. Just a little bit of this to add some fire. This is a red curry paste, and what I'll do is I'll add 2 tablespoons of this, and this will mix in with all the things I've got already. Now, in go the herbs. We're going to fry all that off so it's nice and flavoursome. You can smell already.
Yeah, it's lovely.
This, when you're cooking Thai food and when you're making the curry base like this, it should fill the entire house with that Thai flavour.
True, isn't it?
It sure is true. Now, I've got a bit of fish sauce. Love it or hate it, a little bit of that makes it really nice.
That's good quality fish sauce, no MSG, no preservatives. That's what you want to be going for.
A little bit of vinegar as well, because I like a bit of sharpness. Because, we've got some heavy flavours in here.
Yeah.
A touch of vinegar in there as well.
It sort of softens the whole thing, doesn't it?
It does. And you can see my beef's nicely brown. In goes the beef, and I make sure all the juices are in there. See this pan here? What I do with that, Zoe, is I grab some beef stock here and I put it into the pan like this. And what that does is lifts off all the beefy goodness that's in this pan and goes in here.
I love a beefy goodness.
You don't want to waste anything, Zoe, so I'll pour a bit of beef stock in there. Now, of course, I need some sweetness. So not just you, Zoe, but I've got some coconut sugar
Look,
here.
I like that you're using coconut sugar. I think personally that's a better sugar to use. So, yeah, and also it's very much in keeping with that sort of whole Thai Asian infusion of flavour.
Normally we'd use palm sugar, but we don't use that anymore. We think coconut sugar is much more sustainable. Now, I've also got some coconut cream going in there, a good tin of coconut cream, because we want to make it nice and luscious. Stir that around there like that. Now, Zoe, as I said before, this will take about half an hour to 40 minutes to cook. And when it's cooked, I'm going to chop up that Chinese broccoli, mix it in there. So I've got some lovely greens to go with it. Squeeze some fresh lime juice over it. We'll have it with some steamed rice. I can't wait to eat this. Zoe, I've got the Chinese broccoli. My curry's just about ready.
Looks amazing.
And this...
I mean, a lot of oil to a lot of richness, obviously.
So I'll throw that in. Now, I know it only takes about a minute or so to cook.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is stir it around. And you could put anything in here. You could put beans in here, tomatoes in here, capsicum.
Okay.
But I just want it to wilt down just a tiny bit. Give that a stir around. Now, Zoe, can you get one of those limes there?
Sure.
And what I'm going to do is get you to cut it in half. I'm going to squeeze some straight into here. There we go.
Beautiful.
All the way through there like that. There we go. And there's the lime. The lime gives it a bit of a zing at the end. I like putting it in. You can put lemon if you want. Yeah, we'll put some on the side there just to serve. Now, I reckon I'll just take this out here like this. Look at that. Look at that. Nice bit of curry in there. Lots of green in there. We'll need some cutlery to try it as well. But it's the sauce that I love.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got some spoons for that sauce because that really is, for me, what makes a Thai curry. You know, that rich, beautiful sauce. You've got to have rice with it. I mean, I love that, you know, predominantly Thai food tends to have more the long grain rice, which is lower GI, which is great.
Now, put the lemongrass on the side there for you to have a look at. You can see it's authentic Thai food. You see how the meat just falls apart. It's just so delicious and tender. Oh.
I love that lime in it. It's really nice. It feels like it freshens up the whole thing because it's quite rich. I mean, obviously there's a lot of oil in it. So for me, the lime just balances everything out nicely.
Beautiful. A little bit of rice with it as well. I think we've got a cracking Thai dish. My Uncle Bob would be very proud of you, I think.